Hi, welcome back to the show.
That is a great intro.
Right?
I feel like we say that all the time. And
I
you
feel
know
like
what?
it's almost like
when
we say
it
it every
works,
time.
when it works, it works.
Right?
So welcome back to the show. Yeah. That
How you
sounds good.
doing?
So it was deceiving.
A little bit.
And I know we always start with the weather too, so as long as we're going to stick with the status quo, we might as well stick with the status quo.
All right.
Today it was warmer than yesterday, but when I was standing in the wind, it doesn't feel warmer than yesterday.
The wind bites.
And that makes it really difficult. I guess we could, is there like a master? No, there isn't. I was going to like maybe increase the, I guess we can
I say these are
like,
gain.
Bump, 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 bump. Testing? Okay.
There we go.
Maybe turn it
Perfect.
up a little bit and see, because
these register audio differently than that register
yeah,
audio.
I would like to see if we're clipping or something, but if anybody's watching, let's see who's watching. Give a shout out to Alicidra and Sarah. Thanks for joining us again. If the volume sounds weird, please send us a message. We didn't actually do an audio check after just changing the audio.
Yeah, we changed everything.
I feel like we should. And then
We
I don't
really
know,
should have.
because I feel like your channel flicks red every once in a while, and I thought that means like it's clipping.
Not that it's clipping. I believe what it means is there's, you know how like when it goes from green to yellow to red, right?
Yeah.
I think it just means that it's gone high enough, it's hit the red.
Okay, all the classes that I went to said be mostly in the yellow,
Yes.
but not in the red.
No, that's right.
Which is the opposite of this.
Which is the opposite of that. But that is where you want to be. You want to try and be in the yellow. That way you have room to work.
Well, we'll leave it to the viewers. We're trying to turn it up because we got some word that the volume was a little too low. If the volume is too weird or clipping or sounds distorted, send us a chat and let us know. In the short term, it was warmer today, but the wind made it cold. I don't like the cold. I hate the cold.
Hate the cold?
I hate the cold. I know that that's a negative thing to say on a positive good news program.
Well, but a lot of people can relate to this.
I hate the cold.
The cold kind of sucks.
I hate the cold. I just don't like it. I feel like if you get stuck out in the cold, you can't add more clothes.
It doesn't really help.
No, it's cold.
It's cold.
If you're too hot, at least your body reacts by sweating, right?
Yeah.
And it'll cool itself down. But if you're too cold, your body reacts by just dying. You don't like generate more heat. You just die. You know what I mean?
Too cold, I guess I die. I mean,
I just...
No, I get you. Your
and
body...
I know there are weird people out there that are all like, oh, I would rather the cold.
You ever seen the Iceman?
I feel really bad because I have a story today that I'm compelled to say because one of our wonderful viewers who apparently loves the cold is sent in, and so I'm gonna read it. I didn't put it at the top. It's a little bit later on, just in case.
Just in case.
But regardless, I'm going to say it because obviously it was sent in, and we really, really appreciate it when you send stuff in. In fact, here's an invite to our Discord.
Here's an invite to the Discord.
So you can send more stuff to us. We really appreciate it. Electric is not on yet that I can see. Electric, give a shout out if you're here. Electric wants you to join our Discord and talk regularly. We have kind of a slow burn Discord. And I feel like the Discord brings a lot of people together, but they only individually message me.
That's a great
which is fine.
Point.
It's fine.
Let me
join our Discord.
Rejoin my own Discord.
I feel like you're still there. I feel like you're still a member.
Accept invite.
I feel like
I am back.
You're back.
I'm here. I exist.
Welcome back to the Discord. So
it feels weird to be back.
It feels weird to be back. Okay, so just for you, since you're joining the Discord, I'm going to read what the National Day is.
Okay, just for me.
Yeah, and it's not National Discord Day, but it is National Dog Biscuit Day. I was trying to see if there was anything I could segue into.
You could segue for it.
Discord.
Really didn't work. Huh?
Discord. Yeah, I don't got nothing.
It happens.
National Dog Biscuit Day. I'm hoping that's give your dogs dog biscuits and not try one for yourself.
I've been there already.
They're
not great. They're not great. I'm sorry, Mom, but
you tried it.
I have. We had a thing going. I was very confident
Uh-huh.
in my ability back when I was a younger man.
Uh-huh.
And I was like 14. I was really confident in my ability to land a backflip because I'd done it once before, and naturally, I thought I was hot stuff. So we're over there at Alex's house, and they were pet sitting for dogs at the time. They had dog biscuit. I go, Alex, if I don't land this backflip, I'll eat a dog biscuit.
Oh.
Well, I ate it on the backflip,
so not only
then ate a dog biscuit.
Not only did you land on your head, you had to eat a dog biscuit.
Exactly, I had to eat a dog biscuit, and you know what? It tasted like old gravy.
So I saw one of the most riskiest and scariest looking videos I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah?
It was yesterday, I think, where a guy is standing on this wooden platform. He jumps up in the air and does a backflip as 5 cars plow through the thing, crash through the barricade. He clears all of them and then lands on his sort of feet on the ground.
That's horrifying.
Have you seen it?
No.
If you watch
horrifying.
it's scary. I mean, and they're flying through it like 80 miles an hour.
That's a you get to try this once and never again type of trick.
And they all scream like, "Yeah, he did it!" But like, it's like, whoa.
It's like you remember the video when the video was really
Whoa.
popular of the dude doing the front flip over the car?
Yeah.
It's like that's what it makes you think of.
I think of the basketball player that was selling his shoes.
Yeah.
And he does it and he jumps over it. And then the news guy does it and his shoes are like left because the car hits him.
That was a very good. I loved watching that.
Well, it's also National Banana Bread Day.
I do like banana bread.
I do like banana bread. I
like
had a
banana
grandmother down south that made zucchini bread a lot. Not so much with the banana bread, but I've had banana bread. It's really good.
Mm.
So if you make banana bread or you have
If
banana
I
bread
make
or you have a
banana
way
bread-
of getting banana bread, today is the day to eat it. It is National Banana Bread Day.
Get your banana bread.
National Banana Bread Day. It's also National Toast Day. Not like as in like grab a bottle of champagne and toast it, but actually put a piece of bread in the toaster and toast it.
Now, I will say, I do like toast more than I like banana bread.
Okay. Well, I was going to actually say toast your banana bread and you can celebrate them both at the same time, but I guess that ruins it for you.
If you toast your banana bread and then you put butter on it and let that sink in, that'll be great.
That's what
That'll
I'm
be
thinking.
good.
That's what I'm thinking right there.
I'm feeling it.
It's kind of like when you take meatloaf. You cook meatloaf and you eat the meatloaf and you have meatloaf left over, and the next day what you do is you like cut the meatloaf and you skillet it.
Yes! I know exactly what
Make
you're
it
talking
like
about.
sandwiches
Yes.
and everything.
Yeah, you make meatloaf sandwiches.
It's like it's like better the next day than it is the first day.
I love meatloaf sandwiches.
It is not National Meatloaf Sandwiches Day.
Unfortunately,
but it is because we're on the internet and everything that's on the internet is true. And so I am
That's
declaring
fair.
today
National Meatloaf
Sandwiches
Sandwich
Day. And
Nice.
that is the last Thursday in February.
You could
It's
get
going to be a national day.
you could get your I'd say you could combine them all together, but I don't know how banana bread and meatloaf are gonna go.
Probably not so good,
I
but
don't think
definitely let's just make mashed potatoes in the shape of a banana and eat that with my meatloaf sandwich.
Now here's the thing. Now it is National Toast Day, right?
Yes.
Favorite bread.
My favorite bread?
Favorite bread. What are you saying? You got a toasted bread. You have any selection of bread in the world to pick from. What bread are you toasting?
You know what? I used to buy the cheapest bread possible because I was just always raised buying the cheapest bread possible.
Yep.
And then I started buying Sara Lee bread. It's softer, it's more supple, and it's just tastes better. And it's
pretty
only
good.
like 20 cents more.
It's not that much more.
It's just a little bit more. And when you eat it and you can feel it in the wrapper, it's just so much better. I would go with Sara Lee.
I'm going with Hearty Seeded Rye.
Hearty Seeded Rye.
Hearty Seeded Rye. I don't know what the brand is. It's sitting upstairs in the
Rosen?
pantry. No, it's not. It's not Rosen. It's you know the big one that my mother likes. It's the red label for the rye.
Oh, I thought that was Rosen, but maybe not.
No, Rosen is the multigrain bread.
Okay.
And my sister likes the multigrain bread. She likes multigrain and whole wheat. I like rye bread.
Well, something that goes not good with rye bread, but you could possibly eat it with rye bread.
Yeah.
Chili, and it's also National Chili Day.
I really like chili.
Which I feel like you could also make with leftover meatloaf. Uh-huh.
Now here's the thing.
Uh-huh. Here we go.
Are you doing chili and crackers?
Sarah Lee all the way, Sarah. I feel like Matthew looks like someone who likes dog biscuits. I'm not going to say...
You know what?
I've never tried a dog biscuit, but I've thought about cat food. Because when you crack it open, it just smells so good.
You could try a dog biscuit right now. You have the opportunity.
I don't think so. if it...
Wait, hold up. You chili?
You chili, I know.
What's wrong with...
That's right. I don't get it.
Okay, but so here's the thing. Now this is another controversial chili question.
Controversial. No beans.
Do you eat your chili, if you're having chili and you have crackers, right?
Yeah.
Do you break up the crackers and put them in the chili, or do you scoop it with the chili?
I think like what I do is I take the crackers, right, and then throw them in the trash, and then just eat the chili by itself.
But a lot of people around here like chili and crackers.
A lot of people like chili and beans, but if you go to Texas, where chili was, I guess I don't know if it was invented there now. I'm going to go with it, but they're beanless.
I had chili in Texas while I was in San Antonio, and it is, without a doubt, the best chili I've ever had in my life.
Now, Skyline chili is pretty good down in St. Louis.
I've never actually been to St. Louis.
Yeah, it's good like on hot dogs, so. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of hot dogs.
Break them. Sarah says break the
You break them and you mix them in. Fair enough.
Okay.
There is a place in Pennsylvania called Shoney's.
I know Shoney's.
Apparently, according to Paul...
They used to be around here, too, I think.
I've never heard of it before in my life. According to Paul, who lived in Pennsylvania for the majority of his life and moved here, Shoney's makes the best hot dogs in the world.
I don't know.
I don't know about that one. And he claims the reason is because they buy their hot dogs from a specific brand.
Portillo's?
Oh, yeah, right. They buy their hot dogs from a specific brand that only sells to them.
Oh, okay.
So you can't buy it anywhere else, apparently. Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly. That sounds like something that they would say. Give a shout out to 01 Ella. Thank you for joining us again. And Drapsnat. Thanks for coming in here.
Now, I agree with Sarah on this. I think, in my opinion, it depends. If I have like those square crackers, I'm scooping. But if I have little oyster crackers, they're going in.
Yeah. I put crackers in soup occasionally, but chili, nah.
Chili's just really good by itself.
Yeah. I just keep eating the chili until I'm too full to eat the crackers. That's just me. That's just me.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, we could be done with the national day. Oh, wait. One more national day.
One more national day.
It's not officially a national day, but I do know that one of our viewers, Super Sabo3, today is her birthday. Give a shout out. Happy birthday. I think we did that for Electric once.
I believe we did.
I feel like we did it for you. It wasn't exactly on your birthday, but yeah.
My ego wouldn't let it happen other way.
We can get on to the good news part. Unless you got what do you got?
What do I have?
I heard you screaming when I came in.
One of the main reasons that I screamed is because
one of the main reasons
I dropped a toolbox on my foot and it really hurt, and I was very angry about that, and I had to find a cable. And you know how many cables I have, and I couldn't find this one cable I couldn't find it. And I still haven't found it. I looked for it for about 2 hours, and I was just very, very upset by the time you arrived.
I heard it. I can't help you with the cables,
unfortunately,
but I can bring some good news to you.
You can indeed. Now, the question is, what do we got today?
All kinds of good stuff. I'm not excited about the super cold article, but I am going to say it regardless.
Speaking of the
cold,
it is funny that we started talking about how it's chilly, and then we ended talking about chili.
See, that is funnily enough, which I honestly didn't know was a real word until you use it enough times and I looked it up.
What, funnily enough?
Funnily. Funnily is a word. Had no idea it was a real word. I thought you made it up. I mean, you look like somebody who could make up some words and use it and get away with it.
I can confirm I've done it on at least 6 occasions.
That's what the
worked.
English teacher is like,
Yeah.
not a real word.
Yeah.
Not a real word.
I tried it once, and my English teacher told me that it wasn't a real word, but I didn't get marked off with it because I was able to provide a clear enough definition of what I believed it should be.
Nice. Nice. Let's see here. Okay. So, my first article today, this TikToker leaves snacks out for his delivery drivers and he catches their reaction on doorbell cameras. I had a couple of videos that I saw. One was of a lady who was dropping off, who was like, it's watching the video, they're like totally mesmerized.
Yeah, right?
And the one lady, she actually says thank you and waves when she goes, but like he leaves drinks and snacks, and there's like a selection to choose from. And you think that people would just grab a bunch of stuff and go, no. The delivery driver drops it. It's a note that says, hey, help yourself. And they're just totally mystified. But anyway, social media is filled with stories of delivery drivers who wouldn't exactly be in the running for Employee of the Year. From folks who toss packages out of their cars like they owe them money, or those who steal the items they're supposed to be dropping off to paying customers. There are a lot of people paid to deliver stuff for a living who aren't all that good at it. And a lot of these less than stellar customer service experiences are documented on doorbell cameras and then shared to social media for the internet to enjoy, get thrown into a blind rage over. Welcome back, Electric. We were just talking about you a little bit ago.
We were indeed, actually.
Yeah. Hopefully, you
all good things, we swear.
Yeah, you felt. Okay. However, there are also some wholesome instances captured on these cameras as well, like what TikTok user at PRSHZ1. I don't know how to pronounce that. So, PRS, here, you know what? Let me put it in chat so y'all can see it.
Is it like Purge?
That's what it looks like. Oh, God, no.
Maybe it's Purge.
Wait, did I actually? Oh.
I think you just tabbed out. I was saying you tabbed out, pasted, and then just tabbed back over.
In the video, a delivery driver can be seen walking up to the porch of the TikToker's home to deliver a package when they see the spread left out for drivers, which includes a cooler filled with drinks and a basket packed with snacks. In the text overlay of the videos, the TikToker writes, "This is one of my favorite delivery reactions," followed by 3 heart smiley emojis. The driver sees the spread left out for her and immediately starts expressing her gratitude. "Isn't that nice?" she says. "Goodness gracious, a whole lot of stuff." She goes on looking at the basket packed with goodies. After grabbing a bag of snacks and what looks like a red Gatorade, she thanks the homeowner before walking off camera. If you have an opportunity, you should watch it. It's just kind of like, it's like one of those, like, it renews your faith in humanity type of a situation. You know?
That's a very good phrase, by the way.
Renew your faith in humanity.
Well, that and good gracious.
Good gracious.
You know what my favorite one is?
Can you say it on the Good News program?
I can indeed. Great googly moogly.
Great googly moogly.
Great googly moogly. That's my favorite one. I love that one.
Oh, shucks.
Oh, shucks.
So, speaking, good golly. Good golly.
Good golly.
Remember the song, Good Golly, Miss Molly?
Yes.
Wait, can I? Oh, DCMA? No.
Well, and in
Edit undo.
Edit undo. I won't sing the lyrics, but Miss Molly is also in another song. She is in Splish Splash by Bobby Darin.
Take a bath.
And he says, the lyric is, he's talking about all the people there, and he says, and golly, Miss Molly was even there too.
Okay. We're gonna have to, like, Great Scott. Great Scott's definitely a Back to the Future type of a thing.
Do you think they copyrighted that phrase?
Scott.
Do you think if you gave them the opportunity?
Gotta pronounce the G like a J. I feel like since he made up the 1.21 gigawatts and it was supposed to be gigawatts, but they just wanted gigawatts because he pronounced it wrong and nobody wanted to tell him he pronounced it wrong. I feel like that's a thing.
No, Miss Molly isn't in the back. This, by the way, in the way this song talks about, I never paid much attention to it. I thought he just flashed everyone that's at his house. But
I know.
He is wearing a towel. And
because he says wrap the towel around me, and then they open the door.
And then I open up the door, and then I jump back in the tub. Well, how was I supposed to know there was a party going on? So, it's his house.
Yeah.
And all of these people are just in his house partying, and he doesn't know. Did they break in?
I feel like they're really quiet party.
That's what I'm saying. And he talks about how all these people are dancing.
Yeah.
And you're in the bathtub. You're in the tub in the room directly connected to it.
Yeah.
How do you not?
I think it'd be much more embarrassing to flash everybody, but squish WT.
WTF.
So,
I really like Bobby Darin.
Right. Give a shout out to another TV viewer.
Welcome back.
Kata, obviously Electric. We appreciate you all. So my next article, talking about restoring your faith in humanity.
Okay.
It's a little late, but this mysterious letter that was lost in the post in 1916 was finally delivered to a London address more than 100 years later. Now, I found this article 5 days ago. Today. 5 days ago today, it was in the article.
How does it sit around for 100 years?
I could see that happening in the United States Postal Service, but London, come on.
For 100 years?
100 plus years. And then somebody's like,
Like, what was it, an evidence lockup?
It's like they just go through the bottom of the package and they just, until the time's up.
Yeah.
And then they just keep pouring more. And then finally they got to the end of the basket one day. It's like,
they pick it up and it's like, this letter's turning to dust in my hands.
So, a 107-year-old letter posted during World War I finally arrived at a London address the homeowner has revealed. Film director Finlay Glenn said the historic delivery of the letter from 1916, which turned up on his doorstep in Crystal Palace, southeast London, 2 years ago. It now has come to light after Glenn involved his local historical society in trying to tell its backstory. Glenn told the BBC, "We're obviously pretty surprised and mystified as to how it could have been sat around for more than 100 years, with Royal Mail saying they are not sure why there was such a monumental delay in delivering the letter." The guy got lost.
Yeah.
The guy got lost, and we finally figured out where your address was. Okay. The contents of the letter are shrouded in mystery. Da-da-da.
Okay.
Right? With the first sentence being, quote, "My dear Katie, will you lend me your aid? I'm feeling quite ashamed of myself after saying what I did at the Circle." End quote.
Ooh, the Circle.
Now here's the thing.
Circle?
He asked Katie 100 years ago, "Lend me your aid," waiting for this poor lady to reply.
Do you think Katie ever lended her aid?
I doubt it, because she never got the letter.
She never got the letter.
She never got the letter.
My dearest Katie, would you please lend me your
Please
aid?
lend me your aid.
I'm feeling quite ashamed of myself.
Lend me your aid.
What I did at the
Lend me your aid.
Lend me your aid.
And then,
My time draws near.
And when she didn't reply, it's like, oh.
Hope this letter finds you quick.
Readers are left wondering what dramatic events occurred in the Circle. That's right.
Yeah, what's the Circle?
The Circle.
The Circle.
Took place during World War I. The writer, Christabel Manel, daughter of a wealthy local tea merchant, said in the letter addressed to her friend Katie Marsh that her behavior was influenced by being, quote, "miserable here with a very heavy cold." Let's see, I'm trying to catch up on some of this.
So she's sick.
Yeah. Katie thought, that's right, Sarah. I think Katie thought he ditched her and he was upset. Katie ghosted this guy before ghosting existed.
There's like, so
sounds like a cult.
She's sick. She's miserable.
Yeah.
And she's in London during the middle of World War I. I hate to say, I don't think she made it very far.
I'm thinking that like someone needs to take this letter, make a completely fictitious story out of the whole thing, and turn it into a TV series.
I've already done that in my head. I've got like a whole 3-day step thing going on right now.
Well, Glenn told the South Press London there was something weirdly moving about it, looking into these people's lives, and it was never delivered. I was shocked and curious about how it could have been sitting somewhere for 100 years.
Like,
yeah, Katie's gone.
I hate to say it, I don't think Katie's reading the letter.
Nope. Unless she's watching this program, I think. The letter bearing a penny George George V stamp and sent from Bath in England's West Country was believed to be lost and forgotten in a local sorting office that had been shuttered for more than a century. A recent redevelopment at the site allowed the letter to resurface. Stephen Oxford, the editor of the Norway Review, a local history magazine, told The Guardian. A spokesperson for Royal Mail told the South London Press, incidents like this happen very occasionally. How occasionally?
And it's the Royal Mail, too. Like, this is the prestigious mail system.
Know. In all the world. In all the world. Rip Katie, true.
Katie.
I can't say that. You can't say that. You got blocked.
Yeah, apparently. And, like, I thought I had my phone open so I could do it in case it happens. And it didn't even pop up.
Yeah, you can, LOL.
I thought it would fix it. It didn't fix it.
Yeah, you can LOL it, but you can't say swear words on the Good News program. Sorry. Katie will be missed by this guy. I feel like that happens occasionally. Help, yep. So, yeah, I'm with you, Electric. How occasionally, I'm curious as to how occasionally this happens. But anyway, we are uncertain what happened in this instance. We appreciate that people will be intrigued by the history of this letter from 1916, but we have no further information on what might have happened. I feel like, and this is just me, something major happened at the failure of the delivery of this letter. It's completely the Royal Mail's fault.
Died. That's like,
yeah. And probably the other guy too.
Warning Kate. No, it's not even like it's two rich women apparently.
Yeah.
Some wealthy tea merchant's daughter writing to her friend Katie. This lady writing the letter, the wealthy tea merchant's daughter, she's sick. She's having a miserable time. She apparently hates London.
Yeah. Wait. My dear Katie.
There it is, the writer.
Yeah,
Christabel. In my head, you know what I'm imagining? I'm imagining like blonde hair, nice like overcoat type of dress thing, writing the letter by candlelight. My dearest Katie.
My dearest Katie. I actually like the idea.
Hope this letter finds you well. I hate to say it, London sucks.
We have to definitely put this as like our title, just for the record. Remember this for later.
You know what it makes me think of? You know Batman, right?
Christabel. Actually,
that's you know this is guys. I'm putting the petition out. Get rid of the British. Get rid of the British. They look. Or don't let them come up with names. Don't let them run their mail system. Like.
I feel like there are actors right now naming their kids Apple.
Yeah, the British gotta go. I hate to break it to you.
They're not British.
These people were.
Christabel.
I
feel like Christabel works better if you have the accent.
I know for a fact her father sounded like, yes, my dearest Christabel, how are you?
I wish we had some of our English people watching, because I know that they haven't been on in a while, but it would be really nice to get a recording of somebody English saying like Christabel in like a Cockney accent.
I can't do Cockney English. I can do Irish, Scottish, few different.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Squish is so real that the one abolished the British 2024.
Look, we had Brexit already. Now we just need to have. Goodbye British.
Starting.
The British gotta go.
we
the British gotta go.
We're in Congress. They're voting to go to war with Britain. Why? Because they're naming people wrong.
I feel like, hear me out. If America took over the UK, the French would win a war.
Okay.
The French would win a war.
For the first time?
Exactly. That wasn't against themselves. The French would actually be good in battle.
Okay.
I see no losses here.
I'm not. I feel like I'm going to go out sometime in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to see hashtag abolish the British 2024, and I realize that they came from here.
And you know the best part about that is? People agree with us.
Abolish the British.
Abolish the British 2024. Let's get it started.
Let's get it started. Okay. My next article is just so cute. There's this lost dog, right? He was lost for 36 hours.
Okay.
Which I guess is probably not uncommon for a dog.
But if you're a family that's used to having a dog around all the time.
This dog asked for help, though, by ringing a doorbell.
Could you?
There he is on camera.
Could you?
Look at him. Look at his face.
Dude.
He rings the doorbell. Wait. It gets better. It gets better. I promise you it gets better. So let me get through this. Here you go. When a rescue dog found herself lost. Wait, thanks for giving us people like.
Yeah. No. Why is every British person's name like Sir Bringus Chadworthington the 18th?
Right. In the Shirewood Forest.
Yeah. From what was it? What was it last name? Birminghamshireville or whatever it was.
Yeah, Birminghamshireville town.
Yeah. You know what? There's one big reason. Forget everything else. There's one big reason why the British need to be taken over. So they know what real food is. So they know.
Don't say it, but that's okay.
They know what seasoning is.
Okay, when a rescue dog found herself lost in her new neighborhood, she somehow knew where just to go to find help. Back in January, a husky mix named Bailey, adopted by a family in Upper El Paso, went missing, and her owners went to social media to try and find help locating her. They contacted the shelter where they rescued Bailey, El Paso Animal Rescue League, who posted pictures of her on Facebook with the news. Urgent, this beautiful girl Bailey has gotten loose in the area of Mesa and Sunland Park, the post read. But Bailey had a trick up her fur that would make the rescue efforts even easier.
Yeah.
She walked herself 10 miles right back to the Rescue League's door in Cantillo and rang the bell with her nose.
Could you imagine
The dog went to the animal rescue place and rang the doorbell.
she's ringing the doorbell. She's like, I know y'all know me. Let me in there. You already know I got residency.
I'm back.
Yeah. Y'all thought you could get rid of me, didn't you? I'm here for the free meal, baby.
I'm back. Yeah, picture screams hello. Can you just read a book about Mormonism?
No, that's exactly the thing. It's just, have you heard of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?
Yeah. Give a shout out to Shanala. Shanala.
I'm gonna say Shanala.
Yeah, Shanala. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us. At 1:40 a.m., the surveillance camera on the doorbell caught an image of the clever dog. These dogs are smarter than people give them credit for. Loretta Hyde, the Rescue League's founder, told a local Fox News affiliate. How did she know which direction to go? She was 10 miles away. What did she eat and drink during those days? The shelter team immediately got Bailey inside and shortly thereafter reunited her with her family. Welcome back to the show, some Sav.
I bet you Billy got lost, wandered around for about 10 hours, then just goes, all right, where am I? and then caught the smell of the passing by truck.
I don't want to make.
I know this.
I feel like this is going to start a fight, and I'm not trying to make it start a fight.
We already said we should abolish.
We're talking about like boys and girls, though, right?
Okay.
This is a female dog that walks out of her house. She's a block away from her home, completely lost, but manages to find 10 miles away.
10 miles away,
next to the clothing store.
Yep.
Where she got a new pair of shoes. No problem.
Yep.
Right. She got right back there next to the Starbucks, but couldn't find her way back up the driveway
Tell you,
where she was currently living.
If I'm a dog, he's exactly where I'm going. First place I smell food. That's where I'm going.
Lord and Savior dog. No, I'm not dyslexic. Funny.
Not the Starbies.
Starbies.
Could you imagine if Starbucks bought Arby's?
Yeah.
And called it Starbies. And it's just, they kept the exact same logo, but she's got like a plate in front of her that has the Arby's roast beef sandwich on it.
So your mom sent a joke today. Did you hear the roast beef joke?
Roast beef and pea soup?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a very lovely discussion about this in Walmart.
I don't know. Is that appropriate for good news or no?
I just told her my soup better not taste funny.
Okay, go ahead and tell the joke.
All right. Well, the joke is, what is the difference between roast beef and pea soup?
What?
You can roast beef, and then but you can't. I didn't let her actually finish.
Everybody can roast beef.
Everybody can roast beef, but I didn't let her finish the joke because I cut her off and I pointed at her and I go, "If you pee in my soup, I swear to God."
Well, it's not that you pee in the soup, it's that you pee soup.
I didn't even think about that. That's so smart.
I feel like you missed the joke.
I missed the joke entirely. I thought she was like threatening to take a leak in my food.
No, Tarbucks, but that's not as good. That's right. Target. Stargate. Stargate's better, I guess, yeah. Okay. So, just recently,
okay,
an old movie re-hit the movie theaters, right? Remastered in 4K and 3D. It's the 21st anniversary of the Titanic movie.
I'm like, I don't know what you're talking
Yeah. And in honor of such movie, I offer the following article just because I thought it was super fascinating.
Yeah?
I hate peas. I hate peas too!
Wait, hey.
Electric,
hey,
I love you.
Wait a second. What's wrong with peas?
Uh-huh.
What's wrong with peas?
Well, I mean, I still know this is a good news program, but they look like miniature little goat turds.
How much time do you spend looking at goat turds?
I'm just saying, you only have to see it once, and you will never unsee it.
Unnatural, green, and round. You know what's unnatural, green, and round as well? Yoga balls.
Right, and you don't see me messing around with those either.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
Someone told me, here's the thing I heard once.
Squishy innards. Exactly.
Here's the thing I heard once. They said, don't eat your vegetables because vegetables are green. You know, it starts with G, gross. So don't eat anything green because green equals gross.
You know what? I'm inclined to follow that logic. It sounds...
And I'm thinking of Brussels sprouts, asparagus.
Yeah. Broccoli.
Well,
salad.
See, I like broccoli.
I feel like salad is like rabbit food anyway.
Salad is, I'm convinced if you eat salad on a regular basis and say you enjoy it, you hate yourself.
Well,
because you're just eating leaves.
Peas are only for the elegant.
You're eating leaves. Why would I go and eat leaves, right, when I could be eating steak?
I feel bad for people who only eat salads. Okay, well, I had this great segue into this non-Titanic thing that we didn't even get to.
Hey, okay, wait. Have you seen the Titanic?
Yes.
I've never seen the Titanic.
I've seen the original Titanic a whole bunch.
Did you cry?
Of course I did.
See, like... We went and see, like, I've seen movies about major disasters and whatnot, and I'm not gonna lie, I laughed.
Well, I'm gonna definitely laugh during the Cocaine Bear one, but
dude, Cocaine Bear's gonna be sick.
Okay, so this U.S. agency wants offshore oil companies to look for shipwrecks before they drill.
Okay.
And some Sav cried. That's hilarious. Some Sav absolutely cried.
He was already dead and they showed that. Well, yeah, what it'd be like, oh, he disappeared.
Right. Okay. As part of existing requirements for offshore energy production, 600 shipwrecks have been found in the Gulf of Mexico alone by oil and gas producers. However, scientists and historians reckon this number is just a fraction of how many are actually out there. A new proposal to the Federal Register by the Bureau of Ocean Energy Management would obligate offshore energy companies to conduct maritime archaeological surveys before undertaking any operations that would disturb the seafloor off the continental shelf. In 2011, an unnamed energy company spotted a shipwreck near its operations, which was excavated last year by the National Ocean and Atmospheric Admin, NOAA. It turns out to be a 207-year-old whaling ship industry. The Boston-built brig was associated with free slave and maritime entrepreneur Paul Cuff and hunted whales across the Atlantic Ocean, the Caribbean, and the Gulf of Mexico for 20 years. It was lost when a strong storm snapped its mast and opened its hull to the sea on May 26, 1836. I see a whole bunch of conversation.
I'm like, what's going on?
They're talking about the Titanic. Hyperfixated on... Yes.
Reddit. So, in the 4th grade, I can tell you exactly what book series I was reading in the 4th grade. I was reading... Not only was I reading comic books.
Yeah.
I was reading specifically Amulet. Amulet and Bone. I love those books, and I've spent way too much money getting them back.
Amulet and Bone?
Amulet and Bone. Bone is hilarious because, I mean, just to put it in perspective, there's a scene in Bone where a, 78-year-old grandma has a fist fight with a dragon.
Now that actually sounds amazing.
And she wins.
Okay, so we have 4 different conversations going on here. Bone is so real though.
I love Bone. I have the super tall book that's got all 9 books in one in black and white, and I have the exact same thing in color, and then I have all the individual books.
He would have already died. Okay, now
I could survive the Titanic. I'm just built different. Water won't stop me.
They all died from hypothermia. Rose didn't die. Rose didn't die.
Rose didn't die. You know why? Because she wouldn't share her space on that stupid door.
The nice thing now, though, is that if they're down there somewhere, the oil companies are obligated to find them now. All right? Okay. Current methods used to preserve undiscovered shipwrecks involve predicting where they could be found based on historic reports in newspapers and state records, as well as weather patterns and historic shipping lanes. But scientists now believe it's a method that notably undercounts how many ships are actually down there. Furthermore, oil and gas companies are currently only required to conduct a survey when they have reason to believe that a shipwreck may be present in their area of operations. By improving our reporting requirements, we can increase the likelihood of identifying these important resources before they are inadvertently damaged by an oil or gas operator and help ensure compliance with the National Historic Preservation Act. James Kendall, BOEM Gulf of Mexico Regional Director, told Science. The new proposal currently open for public comment puts oil, gas, and offshore wind all on the same page for survey requirements, typically working beyond 5.5 kilometers from the shore. These installations must be preceded by an archaeological survey of the area before they begin construction, and if you want to join in on it, public comment will carry on until mid-April, so you can Google that.
So is there, I forget, is a kilometer, it's a mile that's 1.6 kilometers, right? Or is it the other way around? I think a mile's longer.
Mile, I think, is longer than a kilometer, yeah.
Because a kilometer is what, 1,000 yards or something?
I built differently. I'll just swim.
I would say I looked at my chat, and all I saw is I'm cold. Okay,
we're still talking.
Issue.
We're still talking about the thing.
I glanced on my phone, and the first thing I see is I'm so cold. Okay, skill issue.
Yeah.
They did no. Okay, so Sunset makes a point. They did show it capsizing when they both tried to get in the door.
Rose should have stayed on the boat.
They showed the thing capsizing when both of them got on the way. Here's my rebuttal to that. My counter argument. They're true love, right?
Right.
Die together. The true love. Why does one have to go on while the other one can't? If you are true love, you guys should be together internally. But instead, Rose got to become this old hag for the next 60 years. and talk about this great dude that she just left in the ocean.
Well, she never talked about him until then, because she comes back and tells a story no one ever knew. That's so funny. But yeah, she made a promise. He died first, and she decided to go. So,
dude, screw the promise.
I feel like if Rose would have just stayed on the little dinghy in the first place, Jack would have found a way off.
Jack?
Nope.
Is a go-getting man.
He is.
He would have thought of something.
He would have thought of something.
But no, Rose just had to be difficult.
He would have survived. She had to be difficult. It's totally her fault.
Didn't want to get her clothes wet or something.
But I'm glad you guys are all into this, because speaking of freezing to death in the cold water,
Okay.
you're going to love my next article in more than one way, I guess, especially if you're into like dieting and all that stuff. They say unhealthy fat can be turned into good fat to keep us youthful and thinner. And you are going to just love how this works out because I can't stand it.
Bro, if I died and my true love didn't die right after me, I don't think you get a choice.
What's happened is like, they don't die right after you.
Yeah.
You're waiting in the afterlife for years, decades, and then when they show up, you kill them again.
Yeah, you're like, took too darn long.
Okay. Did you know your body actually contains 3 different kinds of fat?
My body,
Not mine.
I'm gonna say, my body contains one kind of fat.
Humans have brown, beige, and white fat. Diapsis tissues? Basically fat tissues, okay? Brown, beige, and white fat tissues.
Mm-hmm.
A newfound ability to turn one into the other could create a revolution in metabolic disease prevention. By turning a select number of genes in white fat cells off, they revert to pluripotent cells, which can then become the cells for many different tissues and organs. In the case of a new study from the Universities of California, Davis, and Copenhagen, they turned white fat cells into brown fat.
Hold on a second. They said they turned genes off?
Yeah.
Here's why I just don't need you today. Don't need you
Yeah.
today. You're up today.
And then just
You're
count it
also
off.
up today. You're up today. All right, let's get cooking.
Here we go. So the brown fat is very useful for human beings to have, though many of us have very little owing to the comfortable nature of modern life. Brown fat burns a lot of calories to create heat through a process called thermogenesis. The idea of having more fat of any kind might seem a strange benefit for anyone other than a marine mammal, but the more brown fat an individual has, the less risk they are for obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and all the other modern hallmarks of the standard American diet. The researchers return white fat cells to a state of embryonic pluripotency through the Yamanaka factors, a set of 4 genes discovered by Dr. Shinya Yamanaka, for which he won the Nobel Prize. Then they changed other epigenetic switches, epigenetics being adaptations to genetic expressions developed through environmental stressors, and successfully converted the white fat to brown fat. Cultivating those brown fat cells in a lab, they then injected them into overweight sheep who were able to use the brown fat to burn away the white fat. It actually cured the sheep's diabetes and metabolic disorders, a huge moment in the research field. At Copenhagen, they had already been experimenting with a potential drug that could stimulate the calorie-burning activity of brown fat by activating genetic switches in the same way that exposure to cold stimulates it, which unfortunately also creates stress and high blood pressure as the body believes it's fighting to keep warm. That could be dangerous for some folks, like me. I don't like the polar plunge. People do. People do that, like, I take a cold shower every morning and it helps me, like, lose weight. And I think about it. I do. I stand there and I was like, all I have to do is turn this to cold and I'll lose weight. And I'm like, but if I stand in the mirror and just stuck in my gut like this, I can do it without turning on the cold water.
So, funnily enough that you should say that.
Funnily
enough, I take cold showers.
Uh-huh.
And you know what? It's not that bad. You just have to get over the initial shock process, and you're pretty good.
Yeah, see, I can't get over the initial shock process, and I haven't been initially shocked yet.
The problem is, and you never use it. It's every single time you do it. You get that shock process. The problem is when it hits you, everything tenses up and freezes, and you have to consciously remember that you have to stay relaxed.
See, I think I would forget to breathe as I'm like, and then I would just pass out.
Get hit by a truck. I just imagine someone pours cold water in your head. You just start.
give a shout out to Lisa Bay. Lisa Bay?
Lisa Bay.
Lisa Bay. Thanks for joining us. So, they identified a cell surface receptor called GPR3, and that's not a robot on Star Wars.
Incorrect. Wait, I just realized she's talking about the fact that I take cold showers. Incorrect opinion. Hot showers.
Yes, I like my hot showers too. They identified a cell surface receptor called GPR3 that doesn't need to receive messaging molecules to activate, and which are particularly numerous on the surface of brown fat cells. They found it increased their self-signaling and increased the rate at which the brown fat chewed through calories. Human infants are born with a lot of brown fat, but it decreases as we age. White fat, on the other hand, increases as we age and creates inflammation associated with many of the hallmarks of aging. Its primary function is to store excess sugar and carbs as glucose,
Glycogen.
glycogen. I
actually know about this.
One. People don't pack on the white pounds by eating fat in the form of triglycerides, but through a variety of lifestyle choices, a lack of exercise, and most importantly, a high intake of refined vegetable oils. Cold exposure is the best way to increase brown fat adipose tissue, fat tissues, okay? Increase brown fat tissues. I'll say it again with enthusiasm. Cold exposure is the best way to increase brown fat tissue.
How you feeling about that one?
Yay.
How you feeling about that one?
And not only creates brown fat, which is found to generate heat at a rate of 252 calories per day compared to 78 calories from those who had no detectable brown fat, but it actually absorbed more glucose from the bloodstream than insulin-stimulated glucose uptake in regular muscle tissues. Researchers believe that finding cheap and safe ways to increase the general population's amount of brown fat could reverse obesity, the obesity crisis, in a fairly natural way.
You know what this sounds like?
I said it with enthusiasm.
This sounds like a win.
It sounds like a
For
win.
me. It sounds like a win. That's what I'm feeling.
All I
right
have
now.
to do is take a cold shower and maybe like reprogram my fat cells.
Apparently, taking a cold shower reprograms your fat cells.
I feel like if I could do this right, get the right amount of brown fat, then when I walk out in the cold, my body's actually producing more heat than I don't actually feel the cold. So it's kind of like a win-win, but in order for me to do that, I have to be cold first.
Yes.
I have to feel cold for my body to produce heat so I don't feel cold.
You have to be cold to beat the cold.
I have to be cold to beat the cold.
Mm-hmm. It's like the, what's it called? Think like your enemy does.
Yeah. A pretty girl at school said I'm morbidly a beast.
I think I have a shirt that says that.
I feel like that's a win.
That feels like a win.
You go, girl. I have been called a beast and multiple times in my life. I don't know if they were all in a good context. I feel like
Some of them I hope were in a context you can't lay on the show because you were doing a good job.
well, obviously, yeah.
Without saying any more on that.
Yeah, I'm trying not to like use real names and
Yeah.
everything, but like, you know, I guess it's kind of an inside joke that I can't share with everybody
Yeah,
because
right?
it would be inside anymore.
Yeah. Wouldn't be inside, it'd be an outside joke.
Speaking of outside,
Okay.
you familiar with monarch butterflies?
I do like a good butterfly.
I do like a good butterfly. Well, monarch butterflies are rebounding again, beating last year's total.
The monarch's
Yeah.
coming back.
The
Abolish the
monarchs
British.
are coming back.
Abolish the British.
Hashtag 2024.
Hashtag 2024. Abolish the British.
The annual Western monarch count to measure the population of overwintering butterflies shared fantastic news for the second year in a row. Motivated by the surprising rebound in 2021, volunteers' excitement continued to grow when early reports hinted at a consecutive year of improved numbers. Surveying a total of 272 overwintering sites across coastal California in November and December, along with a few sites inside California and Arizona's volunteers tallied 335,479 individual monarchs.
How do you make sure that you don't count the same one twice?
I feel like you take pictures and painstakingly go over it to make sure you don't do that.
Fair enough. I just imagine a bunch of people out in the middle of the woods.
Yeah. No. You call them names. You teach them to respond by a particular set of clicks and
Mayor
whistles.
Steven.
Over 130,000 butterflies were reported in Santa Barbara and San Luis counties alone. I guess the San Francisco Bay Area also witnessed a comeback from last year with more than 8,000 butterflies reported in surrounding counties. This season's results are a welcome reprieve from the dismal total of less than 2,000 individuals counted in 2020 and larger than the 250,000 counted last year. 335,479 is squarely back into what was considered normal in 2000 to 2017. We can all celebrate this tally, says Emma Pelton, a conservation biologist at the Xerces Society, which leads the Western monarch count. A second year in a row of a relatively good number gives us hope. That said, the storms that hit California after the count will certainly affect the total. At some sites, butterflies were blown out of their clusters, making them more vulnerable to cold, but other sites like Pacific Grove fared relatively well, with the majority of monarchs still holding on. Managing groves to be more resilient to climate change and severe weather may help improve monarchs' survival and ensure there is a habitat long into the future. This can include replacing dead and dying trees, mitigating future flooding, and planting more native nectar sources. All the small but collectively powerful efforts to rewild and protect our landscapes for monarchs are producing results. Consider joining the monarch boosting mission of the Xerces Society, and that's Xerces spelled with an X. I'll put this in here just in case people want to. Just in case people want to see it. Here are 5 actions you can take to support monarch butterflies. 1. Plant native milkweed. I was on an appointment this year, and this guy built a monarch habitat, I guess, in his backyard. He actually built an entire shed. He basically plants milkweed. He says if you plant milkweed like right now, this year, you will get a bunch of monarchs that they'll just find it no matter what.
That's cool.
And so he waits for them to plant their eggs or whatever they do on there, and then he takes it inside this shed and he keeps them there away from like natural predators and all that stuff. And then when they start flying around, he lets them out, and then they can go out and leave, or they can come back and eat or whatever, but they let them go at that point. But
very nice.
Anyway, if you want to see monarchs in your yard, plant milkweed, and it'll happen this year. Okay? You can also plant a diversity of nectar plants, ideally native to your area. You can stop using pesticides or minimize risk associated with pesticide use. You can call on legislators to support greatly needed policies such as Recovering America's Wildlife Act and the Monarch Action, Recovery, and Conservation of Habitat Act. And you can contribute to community science projects that track monarchs, such as the Western Monarch Milkweed Mapper, Western Monarch Mystery Challenge, and nationwide integrated monarch monitoring program. So the house that I went to, he was part of the Milkweed Mapper.
That's a mouthful. The Western Monarch Milkweed Mapper.
And he does count them, and he does put them on a website, how many he's got there and all that other stuff from day to day. So it's kind of cool. How much time do we got? We got what time for one more?
We're kind of close, but if you want to do it, we can do it.
Yeah, let's do one more. Okay, so this lady turned her old couch into chic $200 handbags to cut down on waste. Look at that thing. It actually looks like a nice purse, right?
Like probably
a lot.
4 or 5 bags out of that. $200 a piece.
So an English woman is turning old leather sofas into beautiful handbags in a way to save them from the landfill. Lisa Crick gets the pre-loved couches donated to her for free. Then she upcycles the good parts into totes, messenger bags, and luggage in the space of a week. She tries to use every part of the furniture that she can, even giving away the cushion stuffing for free to people to use as dog beds or stop window drafts. I am passionate about the waste and conscious of how much we do waste, said the 53-year-old who calls her business New Baggings. When I see people with my bags, I get such a sense of pride. She sells her totes on a website and in a pop-up store in Dilton Marsh, Wiltshire, England, for anywhere between 25 pounds to 200 pounds, and she says the sofa bags are flying off the shelf. Lisa tried her hand at sewing in 2018 when her husband Dave asked what she was going to do with the waste materials from an old curtains they had replaced. I just said, I'll make luggage, she recalled. Never in a million years did I think I'd be here. She turned to Pinterest, tried making denim bags, and continued to play around with the different fabrics. The ex-fitness instructor had more time to explore her sewing skills when the pandemic hit in 2020, and by the time the lockdown had ended, she had decided to pursue making bags as a business. I just feel like COVID hit. She's sitting at home. She's like, well, I can't go buy fabric. I'll just, eat my couch.
What are we doing with that old couch, dear?
So at the end of the pandemic, they're sitting on the floor, watching.
Just sitting on the floor.
Watching.
There's noticeable stuff missing from everywhere.
I'm trying to think of like a good English program. Downton Abbey. They're sitting on the floor watching Downton Abbey. And he's like, they had to go buy a couch.
What is it? Top Gear.
Top Gear.
Top Gear.
Yeah. Well, at first she sewed with leather after a friend asked if I fancied a leather chair. I love the challenge of different fabrics. Every fabric that comes in teaches me something else. Then she started looking on Facebook Marketplace to collect sofas people were giving away. Lisa can make up to 9 bags from a sofa and a chair, and has also created products including a line of aprons from hot air balloon fabrics, carpets, and old jeans.
That's right. Fancied.
One woman loved the bag so much that she ordered one made from her own sofa. There it is. She estimates she has saved 20 sofas from the landfills over the last 16 months and sews 6 to 10 leather bags weekly to sell from her website, and each bag comes with a label to tell you what it was in its previous life.
It just comes with the picture. It's like, I was this once.
I'm so proud of the bags I produce. It's not about the money for me. I really enjoy what I do.
This is the lady selling them for 200 pounds.
I know, right? Fancied. I'm not in it for the money, but I definitely want money. Since we're basically out of time, do we really? I guess we are out of time.
Oh.
Are we out?
Oh.
Were you out?
I've been out.
Oh.
Apparently for like the past 10 minutes.
Okay, well, sorry about that. It's a good thing that I guess I do most of the talking.
Yeah, right?
Anyway, a notable mention, I guess. What happened here?
I say, which window are you tabbed into?
So, a notable mention. This ringed planet that defies known physics.
That's a really wide ring.
I know. This ring planet that defies known physics, discovered in the outer reaches of our solar system.
This is actually very on topic for me.
Let's just read it real quick. It turns out that Saturn isn't the only married planet in the solar system. A European telescope has found a new dwarf planet right here at home, and it too has a ring. The largest object found to orbit our sun since Pluto was discovered in 1930. Quaoar? Quaoar. Hey, let's just put it in chat. This is what it looks like.
I'm going with Quaoar.
Quaoar is the third largest dwarf planet or planetoid of the 3,000 that orbit the sun out beyond Neptune. A collaboration between European Space Agency ground-based telescopes and the space-based telescope CHEOPS began observing quaoars between 2018 and 2021, during which astronomers discovered it has a ring about 7 times the planet's 690-mile diameter. This was found via the common detecting method of occultation, which is the process of measuring the drop in light from a light source that comes when an orbiting exoplanet eclipses it. The astronomers look at the data and determine that there was something more than just a planet blocking the light behind Quaoar. When we put everything together, we saw drops in brightness that were not caused by Quaoar, but that pointed to the presence of material in a circular orbit around it. The moment we saw that, we said, okay, We are seeing a ring around Cuellar, stated Bruno Morgado, the leader of the research, who combined the CHEOPS data with that from large professional observatories around the world and amateur citizen scientists, all of whom had observed Cuellar's occult variation stars over the last few years. Cuellar's ring is awesome without a doubt, but it isn't the only dwarf planet to be found that has one. The Centaur, 10,199 Chariklo, I guess, orbiting between Saturn and Uranus, and Haumea, another dwarf planet beyond Neptune, both have rings. But Cuellar's is unique because it breaks a long-standing principle in astronomy that details that when disks of dust and debris will inevitably coalesce and form a moon. Any celestial object with an appreciable gravitational field will have a limit within which an approaching celestial object will be pulled into pieces. This is known as the Roche limit. So, what is so intriguing about this discovery around Cuellar is that the ring of material is much further out than the Roche limit, says Giovanni Bruno at the Astrophysical Observatory of Catalina, Italy, and member of the research group. As a result of our observations, the classical notion that dense rings survive only inside the Roche limit of a planetary body must be thoroughly revised. So it changes everything we know about it. Plus, I kind of like it.
You're finding planets like, well, you gotta rewrite the physics textbooks.
I feel like this almost looks like it's designed. I mean, it's pretty amazing looking. It's pretty amazing looking. But anyway, we appreciate, let's see if I'm missing anybody. We appreciate all you guys for watching. Thank you so much for the commentary and the conversation stuff that we had. Hope you guys have a really good weekend. Looking forward to seeing you here next Thursday. Are you off?
Should be.
He says he's happy. He's happy to see you on Thursday, even though his microphone isn't working.
Is it not again? Dude, I think this is dead.
Yeah.
This.
I fancied the stream. Peace out, Electric, and we'll see you guys next Thursday.
Am I alive? I'm alive again. Bye.
Bye-bye.